Good morning, beautiful people of the world. Good morning. It is Wednesday, August 20th. Yeah, August 20th, 2025. How you guys doing this morning? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? What did I want to say to you all? Yeah, it's Wednesday. we in the middle of the road, y'all. We in the middle. 2 more to go. 3 down, 2 more to go. I am running extremely late this morning because I overslept. I was sleeping hard, y'all. I was sleeping hard. Oh, these weeds is just growing, these bushes. I can't believe they grew back this fast. All right. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. It is the middle of the week. We are over the hump. We over Monday. We over Tuesday. And we are now in the middle of the week. I hope you all are doing well. I hope you all are doing swell. I hope you all have had a great week thus far. And that you've been safe and blessed, and that God has smiled upon you, has kept all hurt, harm, and danger away from you and your family and your friends. So much going on in the world. So I need to vent, and I know you guys will give your opinion one way or the other. And it's really not a vent for an opinion, but I know you all will. Those of you all that watch this platform, you all always give your opinion. He's sitting right there in the middle. I mean, he's sitting right there. The bus. Blocking. You can't see cars coming. Anyway, I just need to vent. I need to vent. And this is not a right or wrong, who shot John type of situation. It's just how I'm feeling. So let me tell you all what happened. I'll start from the beginning. So I think I mentioned to you all that my sister's husband put our flight on his credit card. Now, that was not the original plan that I had for that is not the original plan that I had for paying for my flight and Chris' flight. Okay, so you know I had to pay. It was last time we went somewhere. It was my sister's husband, and her, her classmate for her 30th year reunion or whatever. I don't remember what it is. No, it was that 40th. So when we went to Punta Cana, I paid I only had to pay for me. Well, this time I had to pay for Chris and myself, okay? Plus, I had to pay to get Chris a new passport. Plus, I had to pay the remaining balance on our trip. Okay, so all of that. So when they booked the flight, week before last, when they booked the flight, I had told her to let me know when they were going to book, because like last time, I was going to go over there and I was going to book my flight on their computer, because that's how we did it last time. But when you book a flight, it gives you an option to put it on Uplift Vacation. Uplift Vacation is just like PayPal, Klarna, all of those, and they let you pay it over time. So this is what I was going to do, because I knew that I had to pay for me and I had to pay for him. So instead of them letting me know that they were getting ready to do this, they went ahead and booked the flight. So my total with Chris and I came to over $1,000. So it's 1,000 something. Well, she knew that, as I told her, she knew that my friend had sent me the $2,000. Now, out of that $2,000 that I got, you all know my account was on overdraft because of the situation that had happened. So, out of that $2,000, $600 of it, the bank took, okay, because it was an overdraft fees. So, not only did I have to pay that, but you all know I just paid almost close to $500 this past Saturday getting this car fixed again. Okay, whatever, with the belt, whatever. Cars right here. So when they booked the flight, when they decided they were going to book the flight, she didn't call me. She didn't say, hey, we getting ready to book. You want to come over? Now, my sister lives maybe 15 minutes away from me. Tops, 10 at the most. We don't live far. All of us live right in the vicinity of each other that we can find each other. We can get to each other quickly if something pop off. So she never tells me that they're booking the flight. So she just sends a text saying, okay, Mama, my mother's going, Mama, Sherelle, the flight has been booked. The flight has been booked, and this is how much you all owe. So I'm going, like, you were supposed to call me and let me know when you all were doing this so I could come over. She don't do that. So she tells me I owe over $1,000. I'm like, wait a minute. I said, that much? And she's like, yeah. She was like, because we got the, the thing where you don't have to go through TSA. You just go through, it's like Homeland Security. I don't know what it's called because my niece was telling us to get that. So they put that on there. And I think it was like $20, an extra $20 or whatever. Excuse me. So, and then I'm like, I said, I told you to let me know when you all were doing it because I was going to come over and book and put mine on Uplift Vacation. I said, I don't have $1,000 to send you all. So, of course, her husband, he put it on his credit card. So she was like, well, we already booked it. So then I call her and I'm like, listen, I'm like, I don't have no $1,000 to send Greg. I don't have it. I said, because I had just told her, she just sat at my mother's house. I had just told her what had happened with, and we were just talking about that. We were laughing about it. And she was like, I've been there. I know. I had overdrafts like that. And, when times get hard, whatever. So I said, so let me just back up. When I told her and my niece that my friend had sent this money, I instantly regretted it. Because instead of them being happy for me or saying, oh, that's good or whatever, my mother always say, read the room. I felt a little jealousy there. You know what I mean? And I'm going to say this because I have often said this before, and I'm going to say it to you all again. Just because family is family don't mean the family is for you. I'm not saying she's against me, but what I am saying is that it's a little jealousy there. And I felt that. So when she sent the text saying how much I owe, we were all on the group text, that we all are. My niece goes, Miss 2,000. Yeah, ma'am, Miss $2,000. Or something she said. First of all, y'all don't even have the bills that I have. My niece lives in my sister's house, in the house that my sister and her ex-husband bought. So she don't pay no mortgage. My sister's still paying that mortgage while she's over here or whatever. However way they doing it, I don't know. So that pissed me off when she said that. And I felt some type of way. So I said, I told you to call me so I could come over and make sure we're all on the same flight, and so I could put mine on Uplift Vacation. Now, what I should have done was book my own flight at my own house, because I have a laptop, and you can do it from your phone. Because originally I'm the one who found the flight. I went on and found the flight going, and I found the flight coming back. She booked both of those flights, going and coming back. Okay, so she said, well, we already booked it. So I said, she said, so when you think you can send him the money? I said, I can't. I said, but I tell you what, I'll send him $400, and I will pay him over time until it's paid off. I said, so the next time I get paid, which was going to be this Friday, but me not thinking I'm not going to be able to pay him because I got to pay the mortgage Friday. And because I'm paying that extra $600 because I had to get the transmission fixed, ain't no extra. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't no extra. That takes like my whole check. You know what I'm saying? So I sent him the $400. I Zelled him the $400. He never communicates back with me and say, Sherelle, I got it. Okay, we good. I got the money. Nothing. So she texts me yesterday on our little thread saying, oh, and don't forget about your brother-in-law Friday for your next payment. Now, again, she knows my situation because she and I have talked about it. Now, let me just piggyback for a minute. I don't know if you all, those of you that have been watching this channel, some of you all are new, you all probably don't remember this, but I'll take you back. You remember when I went to Myrtle Beach with her? I paid for that trip. I paid for her airfare, and I paid for the trip for both of us. My sister did not pay not one dime because she did not have it. I don't know, she was going through something. She was going through something financial at that time. I can't remember what it was. She was supposed to sit. So when we booked when we started paying on the trip or booked the flight or whatever, at that time it was right around income tax time. So I had the money, and I was in the apartment. I was in a house. So I paid for that trip. I did not ask her for one dime. When she was supposed to send me her portion or Zelle me the money, she says, I don't have it. I said, okay. She said, I'll send you what I can, but I just don't have it right now. I said, all right. So we got ready to book the flight for the trip from Myrtle Beach. Same thing. She didn't have it. So, same person, her husband, he booked their flight, coming and going. I paid him right there. We were at her house. I Zelled him the money from my account to his for her flight and for my flight. When we went on the trip, if you recall, we had a suite. We had the top of the line. We was all the way up, like on the. We had a suite to the point that I had my own bathroom. And she had the bathroom outside. We had this big old living room. We could have cooked. We had all of that. I paid for that. Okay. So when it got time for her to pay me back, she just didn't have it. So I said to her, I said, look, don't stress yourself out about this. I said, we just gonna, if you get the money, I said, send it to me. I said, if you don't worry about it. So, I finally ended up, I guess I need to turn my lights back on. So finally ended up saying to her, you know what? Don't worry about it. I said, you don't have to pay me back at all. She was like, really? I said, no. I said, just don't worry about it. I said, I got it. I got you. I said, I got you. So I don't remember how much the trip was for both of us, but people was coming up to our room. They was like, man, y'all got this sweet or whatever. And then, like I said, I paid for the airfare. I didn't sweat her. I didn't ask her for no money. I knew she was struggling. So I just let it go. And I just paid for her trip. So I feel some type of way because I feel like she knows now what I'm going through. And I feel like she could have said to her husband, who also knew that now you got a whole husband, and he could not pay for you to go to Myrtle Beach. He give her that. I paid for it. I didn't ask her why he didn't give her the money or why he couldn't. I didn't ask her. You my sister, my one and only. I got you. So I feel like she knows what I'm going through now. And she could have said to him, you know, Sherelle is going through a really rough time, even though she, you know, I don't know, I believe she even told him that I had got this money. I really believe she told him, and that's why they sweating me. Like, first of all, like $2,000 is not $20,000. Now, when I got my settlement some years ago here from the job, I got $20,000. I sent her, I gave her $2,000. I gave my niece and my nephew $2,000. All three of these people I gave money to, plus my mama. Why in the fuck are you stopping? All three of them. Every time we go to the class picnic, every time we go here, there, and I drive, I don't ask her for a dime in gas. Nothing. So I just feel like, you know my situation, you know what's going on. You could have said to him, let her pay you in installments. I sent $400. You know, she's paying this extra money because she had to pay $3,000 to get her transmission fixed. You know, so she going through a rough time right now. You know, just let her pay you in installments. No, she don't do that. She sends me a text telling me, don't forget him. So I said, I can't send it to him this pay period. I said, because this payday. I said, because I have to pay the mortgage. And see, my mortgage, the way I'm on this thing with the mortgage, this payment has to be sent in before the 31st of the month. Okay. So after I have one more month that I got to make this extra payment in the mortgage, and then I'm done. It ends in September. I'll be right back. Let me go punch. So I just felt like she could say that, could have said that to him and made him understand and say, you know, I know she's gonna pay you because I am. So I tell her, I said, well, I won't be able to pay him until the 7th, which is the next, you know, my next payday. So she writes back, well, that wasn't the original plan. I thought you were going to pay him before that, before the 7th. I said, I don't have it. Just like you said you didn't have it when I took you on that trip. I said, I don't have it to send to him. She said, well, I'm going to let you all work that out. I'm going to let you. And I said, when I sent him the 400, I said, he never told me that he even got it. I said, so he doesn't communicate and say anything. She goes, well, I'm gonna let you talk to him about that. I'm just not, you know, now she don't want to be in the middle of it, right? So I said, okay. So as I'm texting her and saying this to her, I'm telling my mother, because I'm sitting there with my mother. Now, yesterday, the plan was to come on here and go live. Well, that all got switched around when this happened. Because when I got to my mom's house yesterday, we went to get Chris some school supplies at Family Dollar. And we went to Family Dollar, picked up some few things for him. And then we went and we got something to eat. And by the time we got something to eat, it was already like after 6 o'clock. So I was going to come on like about 7 o'clock. Excuse me, I should have came on live yesterday on the way home from work like I normally do, but I knew that I had to do this with him. Today is his first day of school, you all. His first day of school. So anyway, so I said, what did I say? Oh, I said, so anyway, I told her, I said, you know, I don't have it. But she was like, well, you're going to have to talk to him. So I said, okay. So I sent him a text and told him what I told her. He sends me a text back. That wasn't the original plan. I thought you was gonna send me $400 this pay period. Seems like to me, I need to cancel the flight. I need to cancel your flight. Excuse me, motherfucker. You need to cancel my flight. But just here recently, when I was with when we were at the all class picnic, you all came and ate off of my dime. You all ran y'all asses over to where me and my girlfriends had all pitched in and had all this food at the picnic. Y'all had y'all food, but y'all ran over there to me. She asked me, could they come over there and eat with us? She didn't give me not one dime. Neither one of them gave me one dime on the food, on the money that I had put in with my friends. He came over there. He was wrapping up big pieces of cake and shit. But now y'all can't help me. And when he came over there to the table, my girlfriend was pissed off because she was like, she told him to get my mother a piece of cake. And I intervened and I said, he ain't gonna take my mother no cake. I said, I already wrapped my mother up some cake. She was like, oh. She was like, okay. She said, because I told him to take your mother some cake. She said, because I'm looking at how much cake he taking. I said, he ain't gonna take my mother shit. I got my mama. My birthday party. He didn't stay. He came to eat. Now, granted, every time they have barbecue, we have gone over there to their house. The last time we went, and I ain't going no more, the last time we went was on Memorial Day. I brought the desserts and pop. He did the meat, my sister did the spaghetti, my mama did the baked beans, and she did the deviled eggs. When it was my birthday party and I asked her to make the spaghetti, she acted like she didn't have the money to buy the ingredients for the spaghetti. So I said, I'll send you the money. She made the spaghetti for my housewarming party. But when it came to my birthday, which I got no birthday gift at all, but I had bought her a gift for her birthday in November. She wanted this black Santa Claus doll that I had found because she's into collecting them. I went and I bought it. And I said, since you want this so badly, because it was a Santa Claus doll that sat, I said, because I had bought one and I sent her the picture of it and she said, oh, I like him. So I went back in the store. I had already left and pulled off. Went back to the store, went back in there, and got the other one. It was only 2 left. When my birthday came in February, I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. And she couldn't even make the spaghetti as a birthday gift for the party. So my mother sent her, my mother went and bought the ingredients. My mother said, I'll buy the ingredients. She said she acting like she don't have the money to buy the ingredients. So my mother went and bought the hamburger meat. She went and bought the pasta. She went and bought everything that she needed. I think my mother bought that. Then she texted back and said, oh, you didn't get the spaghetti. My mother said, she don't have spaghetti. Everybody got spaghetti. So my mother had to go and buy the spaghetti. Now she makes some damn good spaghetti. In my opinion, her spaghetti is not as good as my mama's, but she makes good spaghetti. So I got nothing for my birthday. He gave me nothing, as he never does. Christmas time, he and I don't exchange gifts. He doesn't. I bought him a Christmas present one time. I bought him a Christmas present one time because I don't remember why I bought it for him, but he gave me nothing. I stopped. I used to do birthday shout outs to him on Facebook for my birthday. He never writes a post saying happy birthday to my sister-in-law. I stopped. They made their 10-year anniversary this past July. I wrote a post. Neither one of them came on my post and said thank you to the people that said happy anniversary. Didn't thank me. She didn't say thanks, sis, blah, blah, blah. That's the last post that I'll write saying happy anniversary to them. Y'all made y'all 10 years. I don't need to write nothing else for you. So now, here we are now. So he threatens me that he is going to cancel my flight. First of all, motherfucker, if you do cancel my flight, send me my fucking $400 back. I'll book my own fucking flight. So I'm saying this to my mama, and my mother's like, are you serious? I'm like, I said, you want me to show you what he wrote? I got up and took my phone and showed it to my mother. And my mother was just like, She just looked up in the sky. My mother said, don't worry about it. I don't know what that meant. I don't know what my mama gonna do. I don't know. She said, don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about it. I said, I don't have $400 to send him this pay period. She said, don't worry about it. Just don't worry about it. So she said, just tell him you'll sell him the money on Friday. So I said, I ain't got it to tell him. My mom said, don't worry about it. So she said, text him back and say that. I said, okay. So I texted him back and said that. I was trying to figure out how to word it. So he comes back and he says, okay, so you can make your final payment of $335 on September 7th, and then it'll be paid. He said, because the bill, my credit card bill, is due September 2nd. Now, he has a fucking gambling problem. It's a whole lot of shit she don't know that I know, that I'll never reveal, that I know. And he's sweating me for the money, because the money that I believe I sent and my mama sent to him for her flight, I believe he has spent that money, that he did not pay the bill. So now he's scrambling. He's trying to get my money, because motherfucker, the bill is due September 2nd, but you spent that money that we sent you. So I wrote back, okay, thanks. I told my mother, I said, I promise you, as like the kids say, on God, I will never, ever book shit with him on his fucking credit card. Not ever. Not ever. I was so motherfucking pissed and heated. And to be real talk, I'm still pissed and I'm still heated. Because here's my thing. As a family, we're supposed to help each other. I'm never gonna not pay you back what I owe you. I don't move like that. I don't operate like that. And that's one thing that she does know about me. Okay? The second thing that she knows about me is she knows how good I've been to her and how she didn't have to pay me. My point is, you had a husband longer than I don't have one. I don't have one. So when you wanted to go on this trip to Myrtle Beach, I had your back. So why the fuck you can't have my back in this situation? Because everybody go through some type of financial woes. Everybody. When my housewarming came, she bought me nothing. She didn't give me no gift. She made the spaghetti. And I let it go as that, because of the simple fact that I knew she had to buy. And that's another thing. She kept telling me how much the hamburger meat costs. It's the hamburger. And I believe her. I know how high groceries are. I go in the store. I know that. But what I'm saying is, I'm not on the phone all the time asking them to do nothing. It's shit that I need done right now in this house, at this house, them bushes, whatever. I never call her. I never say, can your husband come? Can you ask him? I don't fucking bother them. Same way with my mama. My mother, he never calls my mother and say, hey, Ma, you need me to do this, you need that, do that. But when his mother was going through dementia and was going through what she was going through, my sister was there. She fed her, cleaned her up, because he got all brothers. So, they don't want to do that for their mama. They don't want to look at their mama, body or whatever. So my sister did it. And you would think, knowing how good his wife has been to his mother when his mother was really sick, you would think that he would call my mother up and just say to my mama, hey Ma, you need, that's what he called my mother, Ma. Hey Ma, do you need anything? My mother asked him one time if he could take her car, or could he go with her to get an oil change or something. I don't remember what it was. He told her, no, I'm not going to be able to do that, because that's the day I golf. My sister or him, they never, ever call my mother and take my mother nowhere. Never. They never say, and I'm going to tell you, the times that it's so many times in between of them calling her. I mean, it's so far and few. I guess that's what I'm saying. So when they just came back from Vegas. When they came back from Vegas in August, she had the rest of the week off. I asked my mother, I called my mother up. I said, I said, I said, Sheree, she's off the rest of the week. I said, so you all must gonna get together and do something. So my mother was like, no, why you say that? I said, well, I just assumed since she was on vacation that y'all would get I forgot my water, y'all. So I was running late. I said, I just assumed you all would get together. She's like, no. She's like, she hasn't said anything to me. So here she comes sending us pictures of her going out to lunch with some of her husband's friends. They went somewhere else. Then they went to Michigan City to this outlet mall. Now I'm at work. But my mama and Chris are at home. She was on vacation that whole week. Not one time did she come over there. So she's sending us all these pictures of them going. I said, so they went out to lunch, did this, did that. I said, did she call and say, do you want to go? She said, nope. She was like, no. She said, I would have loved to have went to Michigan City though, to the outlet mall. Because she sent us a picture showing us these shoes that she had bought from Skechers, and she said, I'm going to take these with me on a cruise. So they went to it's a Michigan City outlet mall, and it's all you get everything discounted out there. So she was telling us how much they cost, and she was showing us and everything. That's another thing. What do you ever bring over here for her? I kid you all not. Every time I'm in the store, every time I pick up something, if I buy me a top, I buy my mama a top. Yesterday I went into Burlington and they had a clearance on shirts, on summer shirts. This is one of them. I paid $4 for this shirt. I went over to my mama's size. I found her 2 tops for $7. I think they were $6, something like that. I go in the store, as I'm always out. Those hand lotions, I give her 1. I'm always finding things, picking up things, if I see something that she likes or whatever. So you went to Michigan City, so you didn't bring her nothing back? You didn't bring her nothing? Why didn't you call her and say, hey, we going to Michigan City. Y'all want to go? You and Chris want to go? Because like I said, I was at work. She only come over there like on Sunday or Saturday. She'll come over there on Saturday, or she'll come over on a Sunday. But during the week, and so my mother said yesterday, she said, you come over here every day. Every day. I see my mother 7 days a week. I can't tell you a time that I don't see her. I see her every day. Before I got pregnant with Christopher and I had moved out into my own apartment, I saw my mother and father every day. I was still going over there every day. I would leave work. I would get off at 4:30. And I would go to my parents' house and sit there with them. And then after I got pregnant and had Christopher, I saw them every day and a little bit more because they were helping me with my son. I see my mother every day. Every day. When I leave here at 3:30, I don't go home. Sometimes I do go. I'll go home. I put my bags up or whatever. If I bought something, I'll go home. If I got to use the bathroom, I'll go home. If I want to change my clothes, I'll go home. If Chris need me to bring, whatever. But most days, when I leave here at 3:30, I go to her house. And y'all know this because I be on live. Where do I be? Where am I sitting at? There. I go there. I go there, be like, if she didn't cook something, I'd be like, well, what we gonna eat? She sees me every day. I'm with her on Saturday. I'm with her on Sunday. The only time I don't go over there on a Saturday and Sunday, I either gotta be sick or it's gotta be super, super cold in the wintertime. Like, Mama ain't coming out. I'm staying at home. So anyway, hey Brian, the fact that he threatened me like he was gonna cancel my flight. I think that's what really got my panties in a bunch. I feel some type of way. And I was just like, wow, okay. So anyway, lesson learned. So I'm just venting. I'm not here for people to say, well, Cece, you know, you right, they right, you right, they're wrong, whatever. I'm just venting to you all because I'm just irritated. You know, I really am irritated. It's not a tit for tat type of thing, but it's just like with my niece, you know, when I go on this cruise or whatever, you know, I really need somebody to go over there and look after my cats. She ain't gonna do it. She already basically told me she wasn't gonna do it. You know, I guess what I'm saying is that, you know, I have, other than my mother, I cannot call my sister, my brother-in-law, my niece, my nephew. My nephew schedule is all over the place because he's a cop. So I don't get to see him that often. I don't see him that often because the way he's working. But other than my mother and the male friends that I have, I don't have anybody. If something was to happen to my mother at this point, you know, we all know we cannot live forever, right? We all know that. And I'm just gonna say this. My world would be crumbled. I would be okay, but my world would be crumbled if something happened to my mother. Because my mother is the only person that I can really rely on to to really be there for me and not trying to, you know, like have this this thing of I did this for you, you did this for me, you know. I was just taken aback. I really was. And like I said, I don't do good with people threatening me. I don't do good with that. So what that taught me was y'all can't never ask me for nothing. Y'all can't never ask me for nothing. And for her, for my sister to act like that, you know, unless, you know, like I said, maybe she's forgot, you know, maybe she forgot what I did for her, and I just felt like she could have just went to bat a little bit. Now, if he had said, well, you know, I just need my money or whatever the case may be, if it had been done differently, but I was like, wow. Huh?
He didn't show up today?
I didn't see him. What is it? 6:35? He probably ain't coming. 'Cause I think
He shows up at 6, right?
yeah, I think he has to be here at 6.
Yeah, and I don't think he's usually pretty quick.
Yeah, yeah. If he ain't here, if you pull up after 6 or by 6, and those 3 cars ain't here, these 3 cars, they ain't coming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They're never late.
Yeah.
And I don't think he has a doctor's appointment to come in. And then
Right. Yeah, I think you good. I'd park there. So I just, you live and you live and learn. And so that will never ever happen again. Never. I will never allow him to put anything on his credit card for me, because I don't want to owe him shit. I don't want to owe him a cracker. I promise you I don't. And now Chris is back in school. So now I got to go back to paying that $100 every week to my uncle. I don't know if he's going to be taking him or my mother's going to be taking him. I don't know how they're going to work this out, because I don't know what's going on with him. He called yesterday and said he would come get him today. But I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna work out with him, because because of his hip. I don't know. I don't know if my mama gonna be taking him or what. I don't know. So if something, like I said, if something was to happen to her, happen to my mother, I don't really know what I would do, and I'm trying to prepare myself for that. My mother could live until she's 90. She could live well up into her 90s. There's a girl on Facebook that I follow. Her name is Terry Long. Her father is 96 years old, and I kid y'all not, this man looks like he's in his 70s. He goes to the grocery store. He cooks. He always dressed up. And I mean, her mother has dementia. She's 80. The mother's 86, 87. That's a big age difference with them. And, he's just as spry as he want to be, So, she could live a long time, and I know that. But I guess I said all of this to say, you learn your lessons. You know what I mean? You learn your lessons, and you learn your lessons in regards to people. And so I made the mistake of not booking my own shit. And I should have booked the same day they booked, on my own computer, on my own phone. Because like I said, I found the flights. I found them. I was the one who said, this is the flight going and this is the flight coming back. So that was my mistake. So I blame nobody but myself. And the other thing I wanted to tell you all, moving on off of that subject, I got an email from YouTube saying that my last live have an age restriction on it, because I guess because of what we were talking about. Now, when I come on live, it gives you the option to say if your video is made for children or not. And I always click not made for kids. So that live has, the last live I did has an age restriction on it. It said this will not affect your channel, but you have an age restriction on the last live. It wasn't reported, nothing like that. But when you upload the live, when it's uploaded, I guess they look at it or they review it or whatever for you to be able to make money off of it, or however way it go. So they said that anybody under the age of 18 cannot look. I don't know if they can't look at the lives coming up that I do, or just that particular one. Now, you all know when I be on live and those people be acting a fool, I say what I say, whatever. We might talk about sex, we might talk about, this, that, and the other. I may say this, I may say that, or whatever. So they felt that last one, which I didn't feel like that last one was bad, but see, we were talking about cheating, and I did say some things about that. So that's what I'm thinking. That's the only thing I can think of, honestly. So I guess Luke the Slugger and anybody else, I guess, because they talked about that. They said that it was coming up that you had to be a certain age now to look at videos on YouTube. So I guess that has taken place. So they said if they're signed in, they have to sign in, I guess, to look at videos now. So it's got an age restriction on it. Which, to be honest with you, I'm glad of that, because I don't want, and I said this before, I do not want children on my live stream. I don't. And Luke the Slugger is 16. He got more common sense than a lot of them grown-ups that be on the live. I will say that. But I do not want his parents or any parent seeing their child looking at my video, because I'm grown. You know what I mean? I'm grown. And when I get on there and I say it's not made for kids, before I even hit the go live button, that's what I mean. I'm not making this video for children. It's just like I have my whole channel set up that way, because I might do a lingerie haul, a sexy lingerie haul. For the most part, on these car chats or the live streams or whatever, I'm not showing any nudity or doing anything sexual, but we might talk about sex on the live. Sometimes it go that way, so, you just have to be careful, because Miss Kiera has a video over here on YouTube, and it's a sex toy. It's an old video that she did, and you have to be 18 or older to watch that video. It tells you that before you even watch it. So I guess that's what it's gonna say now on my video. And like I said, I didn't find it to be bad, but if you're talking about something or explaining something or saying something, they take that as it being, whatever. So I'm kind of glad in a way, because like I said, I don't really want kids watching my platform. I don't. You know, I just don't. And this is another thing too. Now, so for this cruise, they want us to buy these vacation shirts that say CVS All Class Cruise. The shirts are $25. So that would mean that I would have to buy me one and Christopher one. So that's $50 right there. I may buy it, I may not buy it. She sends a text saying that she already got her and my mama's shirt. Never said, Sherelle, you know, I'm ordering the shirts or whatever. You can pay me back, or, you know, are we going to get the shirts together, whatever? No, she goes on and order hers. Never says nothing to me. So she texted yesterday saying, did you get your shirt? You and Chris' shirt? She said, because I got me a mama's. So I wrote back to her. I said, girl, I'm not buying those shirts. I said, I got 1,001 CVS shirts, and I do. I've got at least 15 CVS. I'm exaggerating. I probably don't have 15. I would say about 8 CVS shirts. Okay. I said, I'm not buying another shirt that say CVS All Class Alumni Cruise. I said $25. I said, that's $25 for me and $25. I said, and Chris ain't gonna never wear his shirt again. So I said, to me, it's just a waste of money. She said, well, you know, they probably want us to all wear the shirts because they probably want us to take a picture, you know, whatever. I said, well, if I can't be in that picture, I just won't be in the picture. Ain't no big fucking deal to me. I mean, real talk. I don't have to have a shirt. So I told my girlfriend last night, and I was telling her about what happened, and I was asking her, because I had just asked her, was she buying a shirt? She was like, no. She's like, I'm not. She said, I'm not buying a shirt. And she said the same thing. And I told her, my girlfriend, I said, every time you look around, they want you to buy a shirt for CVS. I said, I'm tired of buying them shirts. And she was like, I know. She said, that's why I said that. She said, that's why I'm not buying one. So I don't even think I'm gonna buy that. I don't know. Maybe I will. I don't know. So for this all class 88 picnic that we having next Saturday, I didn't even ask her, did she want to go? Neither one of them. I didn't even ask them. Because they still got time. I think today is the last day they want you to pay the $50 for the food if you're eating with the guys. And they gonna have some type of food. I didn't ask her, did she want to go? I didn't ask her, neither one of them. Y'all do your own thing. I'm doing my own thing. I didn't even ask them. I didn't even bother. And I didn't ask them because of the simple fact that they never include me or my mama in anything. You know, my mother was talking about she wanted to do a game night. I told my mother last night, I said, I don't want to do that. Now, if me, you, and Chris want to play some board games, if y'all want to play, we can play. I said, but I don't want to do no game night with them. I really don't. And for Labor Day, I'm not going over there because the last time we was over there was for Memorial Day holiday. My sister told us to come in there because it was, you know, it was a lot of food left. And told us, like we always do, coming in, and she had the styrofoam containers for us to take a plate home, get some food. He comes in the kitchen like he's a fucking cafeteria lunchroom monitor, and he's looking at the food that we taking. And my sister's like, why are you in here? Were they trying to get their food? And he's standing there. That's my last time. That's my last time. Then not this past Thanksgiving. Was it this Thanksgiving? Or was it the last Thanksgiving? I don't remember. But whichever one it was, his friend who's a chef, we all got together and chipped in for that food, and it wasn't even good. So I told them, I said, if you all get him to cook in, count me out. I'm not giving y'all a dime because I didn't like his cooking. I'm gonna learn how to cook my own food, and I'm gonna be home. I'm like, y'all do y'all thing. I gotta work the next day anyway. So, no. And I ain't going over. I'm telling my mama today, if you want to go over there on Labor Day, you go ahead. I'm not going. I'm not. Because I'm going to be in ate so much food. I'm going to be in ate so much food at this picnic on the day before. I ain't going to want to eat nothing else. I'll be good. Next year, I'm going to buy me a barbecue grill, the barbecue grill I want. And I'm going to start barbecuing. I already said I was going to start cooking more. Cooking my own food at home. I'm starting to be really and truly starting to be an introvert even with my own family. Seriously. You know, see, because I don't like bullshit. And I ain't never did nothing to you, him, or nobody else for you to stand up in my face and threaten me and tell me that you're gonna cancel my flight, or it look like I need to cancel the flight. It'd be different if I gave you nothing. But I sent you $400. And I'm going to pay you off. But I told my mother, I said, his black ass, I said, he better never, ever, ever, ever step his foot in my motherfucking house and get a piece of fucking bread. And I mean that. I said, he better not ever need me for nothing. And she can stay right over there with him. I was so motherfucking heated last night. I was like, cancel my flight? Excuse me? I said, I started to write back. When the day that I called you all and asked you to cancel it, your wife told me, well, it's already been booked. We can't cancel it. So now you can cancel it, right? You can cancel it now. But you couldn't cancel it the day that I asked you all to cancel it because I was going to book it myself. You couldn't do that. But now you can cancel it. Okay. And I want to say to her so bad, I want to send her the text and say, so this is what he says to me. I said, but when I asked you that day that I called you, you told me that it couldn't be canceled. I said, but now he tells me that he's going to cancel my flight if I don't send him the money. Because I don't even know if she know that that's what he said to me. I said, but I asked you. I said, I called you the day that you told us how much it cost. I called you. And you told me, oh, it's already been booked. It can't be canceled. I said, but then he sends me this and tells me that if I don't send him the $400, that he's going to cancel my flight. And I want to send it to her so bad. It says, so this is how I get talked to. But it just would stir up so much confusion and stir up then him and her would be. So I'm not going to even do it. I'm just going to send him the money and be fucking done. And they're going to see a whole fucking twist and change in me. I'm not going over to her house no more. I'm not eating no more of their food. I'm not doing none of that. I'll see y'all when I see y'all. When y'all come to mama's house, that's when I'll see y'all. I ain't doing no fucking game night. I ain't doing none of that. I told my mother, you want to do game night with them? Do it. Count me out. I got something else to do. Just like they had something else to do when they don't want to be bothered with us and they go do their own thing and they never call and ask us, do we want to go? And first of all, you ain't got to call and ask me, do I want to go no motherfucking where. But you could call your mama. But since y'all don't think about her or me or Chris or whatever, do y'all thing. And I'm going to do my thing. And I'm going to tell my mother, I'm not going. You go. I'm not going for Thanksgiving. You go. I will be at home. I don't have to get together on Thanksgiving. We don't do nothing anyway. It's just us. And we just sit. You go. Christmas Eve, I'm buy the same Christmas gifts I always buy. I buy for my sister, my niece and nephew, my mama, Chris. I never buy nothing for him because he never gives me anything. That one Christmas present I bought him, and he didn't have nothing for me, and the next year he didn't have nothing for me, fuck you. Ain't got to worry about that. Christmas Eve, we get together. That's it. That's it. And when he came for my birthday, he came and ate and took him a plate home and couldn't even stay at I got a big TV downstairs in my basement. He couldn't even stay and watch the game and stay for the whole birthday party. He left her. And my mother had to end up taking her home. He couldn't even stay. I tell you, people are something else. Good morning. That guy always speak. He is going to speak to me. Well, you all, let me get off of here. Let me go make these donuts. Go see where I'm going to be at. Gotta go change my pants. So stupid shit, too. Let me go call my baby, wake him up for his first day of school. I told Chris, I said, if you don't smile on no pictures, if you don't smile on your first day of school picture for me, I said, don't ask me for nothing. I said, because you don't never want to smile. I said, I want to see your teeth. I said, it's your last year of school. He was laughing. He said, okay, I'm going to smile. I said, yes, please, smile. I want to see them pretty white teeth of yours. Smile. Anyway, y'all, it's 7 o'clock. Getting ready to go in here. And get my day started. You all have a great, blessed day. Hopefully, I can come on live today. My beautician is supposed to curl my hair later. So, if she curls my hair, I might come on and I may not. But in any event, I'll see you all either later or I'll see you all tomorrow. Okay, so have a great, blessed day. Thanks for letting me just vent. Anyway, it is what it is. So you learn about people all the time, and that's just the way that it is. So y'all have a good one, and I'll talk to you all later. Okay? All right, bye.